You can't see them, but you know they're there, undercover, watching, scanning the crowd.
That's why we're very careful.
This is Orchard Road, the most famous shopping street in Singapore. Tens of thousands of people mingle and shop up and down the boulevard each day. Hidden in the crowd are some 400 plainclothes officers from the government's National Environment Agency. Their job? To pick out those who let things slip out of their hands. You like to smoke. You're smoking a cigarette right now. What would happen if you threw that cigarette on the floor?
You'll be fine.
How much would you be fined?
Maybe 500 or 1,000, I'm not too sure.
1,000 Singaporean dollars. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Can you afford that?
No.
1,000 Singaporean dollars is roughly about 700 US dollars. Singapore is famous for being the cleanest city in the world. There are many posters and buildings and parks telling people what they should and shouldn't do. Those who don't obey the rules will be fined or arrested. Because if you threw the rubbish on the floor, you would be in trouble.
Yeah, we will be in trouble. We must. Yeah.
The police will give you a fine.
Yeah, correct.
Have you ever gotten a fine before?
No, never, because we always obey their discipline.
This place is so strict that gum is a banned substance. In fact, those caught with it can be fined close to $200. Spitting, littering and jaywalking can also land you in big trouble. Chewing gum is not forbidden in Singapore, but bringing gum into the country in large amounts is illegal. Those caught selling it can be sent to jail. So many people just decide not to chew gum, period. Have you had gum before?
Never.
Never?
Yes.
Never in your life you have never had gum?
Yes, correct.
Do you want to have gum?
Don't want.
You don't want? Why? Because if you had gum you would be in big trouble.
Yes, correct.
The government reports that some 20,000 litterbugs were nabbed in 2007. 385 were repeat offenders. They had to pay higher fines and were ordered to pick up trash as part of a government-run rehabilitation program. The folks we spoke to welcome these strict laws. They say it keeps Singapore a very clean, safe and orderly nation.
So it's not too controlling. You've got to learn good habits, right? So good habits start at home. So why not in the city?
And these habits start early. Children are taught at school and in their family about how they should behave in society.
There are many perceptions of Singapore that it's a very authoritarian kind of country where you can't spit, you can't chew gum. But I think these things are just things that we get used to after a while, especially as we grow up in Singapore.
The island of Singapore is not big. In fact, it's a tiny spot on the map wedged between Malaysia and Indonesia. Just over 4 million people live here. Singapore has one of the strongest economies in Asia. It's the world's busiest port, is the third largest oil refiner, and a major financial and high-tech hub. A word of advice to those contemplating a trip to Singapore: make sure you know what the do's and don'ts are before going. Every year a large number of tourists are fined because they don't know about these strict rules. George Thomas, CBN News, Singapore.